the MLK and JFK files came out. Oddly enough, not the Epstein. It was very strange. Do you notice that too? Is it just me? That they were like, oh, cool. JFK, MLK, and Jeffrey Epstein. Where are the Epstein files? Why are they? I'm convinced that Jeffrey Epstein killed JFK and Martin Luther King Jr., and I would like to see his file just to make sure. It's almost as if he's releasing these to cover for the fact that he's not releasing the Epstein files. Do you think this dickhead will bring that up? You think he'll bring up the whole Epstein files thing? That he's not releasing those? Isn't that weird? Yeah, sure.
The Martin Luther King family has reacted to Trump's executive order, and as has the JFK family. They both say...
You mean the families of the people who were actually murdered?
Hey, this is a political stunt. I don't know how it's a political stunt. It was supposed to come out in 2027. No, it was supposed to come out when? In the teens, the 20-teens, and then it kept being delayed. Then Donald Trump delayed it last term. Joe Biden, he might have...
I think because the files include stuff about possible affairs and shit like that.
Thought he was JFK for a while. I'm not really sure, or Martin Luther King.
That's a old guy joke, apparently.
And then it's come up again, and people are tired of secrets.
Waiting for the Epstein files? I agree.
And
yeah. Whoa, wait, what? Hold on.
And then it's come up again, and people are tired of secrets.
Oh, they are they? They're tired of secrets? Like the entirety of the Epstein files? Like that secret? You're fucking A right, I'm tired of that secret. Why aren't you, Glenn? Are you in it? Huh? Is that why? I mean, I can't think of a reason. Like, I don't know anybody in my chat room who doesn't want those things released. I want them released. I know I'm not in them. I can only think of one reason why people would actually do this, I suppose. And, hold back those files, right? That would be the thing. The only reason you'd want to hide them is because you're in them. Yeah? Okay.
And so Donald Trump said he would start releasing some of the secrets that should be released. And
some of them. People are tired of some of the secrets, then, I guess.
A few of those are the RFK files, the JFK files.
And not the Epstein files.
And the MLK files.
And not the Epstein files.
So, what do they say? Ooh. Well, the Martin Luther King family, they'd like to see everything first. Well, I don't know if you get that privilege, but okay. Why?
Well, because they're related to the victim.
Ooh. Do you happen to remember what was said about these files last time? Last time they were about to come out, the guy who is the Martin Luther King authorized biographer has come out and said really bad things are in this file. We all know that he was a philanderer. And, I have to tell you, as I get older, I have more tolerance for people.
For philanderers?
People who did amazing things. Because perfect people aren't the ones that usually stand up and say, I'm going to risk my life for that cause.
Jesus Christ. And so that's why you're okay with the release of the Epstein files. Because you could forgive all the shit that he did. Jesus Christ.
Perfect people are usually the ones that are like, no, I've got way too much to lose here. Martin Luther King was not...
Sorry, Trump only took on the great job of being president because he's got nothing to lose but 60 pounds and a couple of points off his cholesterol?
Not the first guy that was approached to lead this movement. Just like Rosa Parks wasn't the first one on the bus. The first one was too flawed. She was a teenager that was pregnant, and they didn't think that she would garner enough sympathy. the other
Little did they know that years later, Glenn Beck wouldn't have sympathy for either.
pastors that were approached to lead this movement all said, I got way too much to lose. No. They knew what it meant. Martin Luther King was the first one that stood up. And I think the same could be said for Donald Trump. He's not a perfect guy.
Yeah, how dare you?
But he's the first one that would say, yeah, I'll risk my life for it.
No, he isn't.
I'll do it. I'll stand. I mean, who else?
I don't know, Rick Santorum, everybody else who ran when he ran. What the fuck are you talking about? Nikki Haley? What are you talking about? Everybody who's ever run for president? Jesus Christ. Whatever the dude who called, D's nuts, who was getting on the, I think we all need to stand for D's nuts.
Gets up from an assassination and looks at the crowd and says, fight. That's
Especially when the shot came from a supporter.
pretty amazing.
It's reactive and stupid, and it means you think that they've killed the person that did it, and you don't think you are or don't care whether you endanger other people there, that there might be a second shooter there because you're stupid.
So they're not perfect people. But Martin Luther King,
Well, but in his imperfection, I think he could release the Epstein files, and we'd all feel better about it.
we know he was unfaithful, but apparently what is in this file is really not good.
Yeah, that's one way to state it. Mm-hmm.
First, it looks like there's an FBI letter that was trying to blackmail Martin Luther King. So something bad on the government, trying to blackmail him and say, basically kill yourself or this is coming out. But then there is...
Sorry, is that MLK's fault?
Martin Luther King. So something bad on the government, trying to blackmail him and say, basically kill yourself or this is coming out. But then there is information on intimate relationships with at least 3 women, one in Atlanta, one in Mount Vernon, one in New York, one in Washington, D.C. Another memo refers to a recording where King looked on, this is according to his biographer, where King, quoting, looked on and laughed as the pastor of Baltimore's Cornerstone Baptist Church allegedly raped a woman in the Willard Hotel.
Yeah, that story's been around for a long time.
Now, that pastor died in 1991, so there's no way to verify the...
Right, but it's good of you to bring it up, and that's maybe why the family was against it coming out, because it's unverifiable and...
FBI's information. It's not clear whether the agents involved were transcribing the true reality of his private life or
creating it.
Creating gossip. We don't know. But...
And they did,
we'll see.
Obviously, try to hurt him and his reputation. That's
Yes.
kind of known and has been known for a long time. The question is this stuff true? I mean, as you point out, the guy who came out with this information in 2019, I think it was, is a very reputable guy,
Again,
Pulitzer Prize winning biographer, right?
Right, and authorized by the King family. So this is the guy who the King family has...
Yeah, we get that. What the fuck does this have to do with what was just released? Does it verify it, or does it does it codify it, or does it clarify whether or not it was made up and just used to blackmail, or if the members of the FBI were trying to go after him, which makes them look bad, or is it supposedly true and it went after? And if you can't tell either one, if there's no way to parse it out, there's no witnesses left to talk about it. What's the point?
Said is credible.
Yeah, and it's hard to believe this lands in any other place than them saying, well, the government did this. And,
right.
They're going to deny it, I think.
Right. It does a tape exist? The letter is 500 words, claims to be from an African-American who supported the civil rights movement. It was, however, we know, written by the FBI. It accuses King of immoral conduct lower than that of a beast, I'm quoting, and a giant liability to all of us Negroes, quoting.
So, real quick, while you're on that topic, this kind of works. I think this is important. So, unverifiable, but out there. Let's say, I don't know, let's say there was witnesses or someone, let's see, like somebody comes out and says that they were sexually assaulted by Donald Trump, for example, and they're a living witness, and they are coming forward, and then they get threatened because they were a child when it occurred, and they remain a Jane Doe, and so they fled and now fear for their life. What about that, for example? Like, does that matter? Do you think that would be in the Epstein files? Because it is. Let's see. Yeah. So.
I figured that one was a quote, Glenn.
Yeah,
you didn't have to tell us that, that wasn't you
wanted to make sure. It encourages,
unless I don't know something about your background. I don't know.
It encourages King to listen to an endorsed and enclosed tape. So we don't know if the tape exists. The writer tells King, it's all there on the record. Your sexual orgies. Listen to yourself, you filthy, abnormal animal. You are on record. You have been on record. All of your adulterous acts, your sexual orgies extending far into the past. But this one is but a tiny sample. You have 34 days in which to do ... There is only one way out for you. You better take it before your filthy, abnormal, fraudulent self is bared to the nation. So, I mean, it's not going to make the FBI look good, and it may not make Martin Luther King look good.
Again, a tape there that doesn't exist, that allegedly they played for him of, I guess, people having sex would be the theory, threatening that if he doesn't do something in a short period of time, specifically kill himself, then they are going to expose him. He did not kill himself, and they did not expose anything. This is garbage. He was murdered. The reason people are interested in these files is who killed him? Is it true? Like, is the case about who killed him honest? Was it a lone gunman situation, or were there conspirators? That's why any of these matter.
The other one, too, Glenn, you mentioned the affairs, which are well known, right?
Yeah.
The biographer says, it's been well known for 35 to 40 years that there have been multiple other girlfriends. I always thought that there were probably 10 or 12 over the course of 4 to 5 years. This new material makes clear.
RFK Jr. is I think he's doubled that number in just just during his presidential run.
That the total is more like 40 to 45.
Wow.
I mean, that's getting a lot of work done there. That's you're a busy bee.
Yeah.
40 to 45 plus the civil rights stuff. Wow,
that's a lot.
That's a busy schedule.
Wouldn't you have time to eat?
Right.
Yeah. The 32-year-old grandson of JFK made an announcement yesterday about JFK's assassination file being opened. He said that this is nothing more than a
read it. Words on page, read it.
Grand scheme. Let's see here.
Grand scheme.
Yeah, he said there is no grand scheme to kill the president, JFK. And this scheme is just being a political prop, using John F. Kennedy as a political prop for Trump.
How? Why?
I don't know.
It's hard
I have
to even.
no idea.
To distract from the Epstein files and other shit that he knows he won't get done, like lowering the price of eggs and all the stuff he ran on, and that his roundup of immigrants is kind of an equal number to what we saw with Operation Return to Sender, in 2007.
Hard to even understand the lot. I mean, look,
It's hard to understand Glenn reading things, Stu.
Why would you not want to know this? What year is this? It's 2025.
Yeah.
This happened a long time ago.
Right.
It's about time we know what actually went on there.
Yes.
And look, there's going to be, I'm sure, some bad things. Some things that probably look good for these guys, and some that look bad. But
who cares?
Who cares? Like, they're historical figures.
Just want the true history. That's all I want. That's all.
I don't know. I'm not interested in the true history. Here's what I need to know. Was it Oswald working alone, or were there people helping him? And is there any genuine evidence that he was helped or he was supported by anybody else that they have that we haven't heard already? That's it. I don't need to like get into the maybe he had it coming bullshit, which is where they're going.
Costner's already done a movie about it. It's time to find out what's going on.
Right. And I mean, if you want the country to survive, you have to be transparent.
Let's see. I got boonk. Where's that guy? Why would that picture show up? Hold on 1 second. It'd be on this. Okay, here we go. We open this guy up, and we grab in here. Sorry. You want what? If you want the country to survive, you what? Oh, hey, look at this. Wait a second. That's awesome. Look at this. Hold on, we'll move this down here if we can, just like this. Just keep scrolling, scrolling, scrolling. Put this behind here and there. And then under here, we go to this, and we go to filters, and we turn on chroma key. And look at that. There you go. Stu's wearing the truth sweater. Isn't that fun? That's so cool. Look at you. It's nice. It's kind of a distressed looking version of it. Isn't that awesome? Hold on, now I've got to do this on so that people on Instagram don't get confused about what the fuck's going on. Let's see, we'll go into here and we'll go to images. Just let this here there. Okay. Sorry, what was the name of that one? Yeah, okay, it is Jumbo Web App. Okay. Images. There it is. Look at that guy. People are tired of secrets. Aren't they, Instagram? It's just terrible how all the secrets. Just the nerve of the fucking secrets and the secrety people. Hold on, I'll scroll this down. There we go. Put that there. Excellent. And then we'll move that over here and shrink it down so that Stu can properly represent. There we go. That's the way to do it, Stu. Now you're wearing the special Trump Epstein hoodie on both channels. I love it. I'm for it. Go for it, man. Way to sell it. Now, sorry, you were saying something before I got distracted in this.
That's all I want. That's all I want.
Costner's already done a movie about it. It's time to find out what's going on.
Right. And
yeah,
I mean, if you want the country to survive, you have to be transparent.
I agree.
Want to know all of the even if everybody is pardoned, I want to know who is involved in the January 6th thing. I want to know all the facts.
Sure.
Even if we can't put anybody in jail. I want to know all of the facts on...
I don't think he's going to say Jeffrey Epstein. We'll see.
On the Russia thing.
No, definitely not. Yeah.
The Joe Biden...
Oh, the Joe Biden thing. And then there's one more.
We have to expose these things.
Yes, there's one thing we've got to expose, and there's a thing, and it's right there. And what?
I want to know who hid and how they hid Joe Biden's mental decline from the American people.
Big time.
I want to know that. I want to invest.
Super important, even though he's not president anymore, and he did just fine. He passed an infrastructure bill, and Trump couldn't even manage to get one written up. But there's something else. What is it? There's something else that should be the transparency.
Those people should go to jail because I don't think they've been pardoned.
No, that's true. Exactly. It needs to be investigated. We need to know how far that went.
Yeah.
Is this why? This is one of the reasons it feels like to me, hearing you over the years, that you put together the museum.
Yes.
Right.
The museum? Fuck are you talking about? The museum. What, the Epstein Trump Museum? What do you think?
To unearth stuff like this, even if good or bad.
Yes.
Either way.
Right.
Mostly bad.
American people deserve to know the truth.
Hello. You have to know the truth, and especially
you got to know the truth. I agree. You do. Yeah.
The dark side of ourselves. Otherwise, there's bitter and sweet.
There is bitter and sweet, and in life you must season with both.
I'm gonna talk to you a little bit about AI.
The Epstein files?
And AI is offering us a perfect world.
Okay, I think this is probably going to be sarcasm.
Okay, that's what this is going to be, a perfect life. The Garden of Eden, it already existed, okay? And we gave it up for knowledge of good and evil. There is opposites to everything.
Oh, that's right. I forgot I'd done that. You guys remember when you did that? We did that. Yeah, I forgot when we did that. Like, how long ago did we do that? It must have been weeks.
Good, evil, pleasure, pain, all of that.
Epstein.
And you have to have both sides. Otherwise,
No, you don't.
you don't know really what you have.
That's right. If we don't have a crook in the White House, how will we appreciate when we don't have one? That's why we need Trump in there.
So right now, Americans haven't seen a lot of pain in our lives. I mean,
Fuck you.
you know, whatever you're going through might seem like a lot of pain, but as a country, nothing like the Great Depression, nothing like World War II. We haven't experienced that. So
AIDS and COVID would like a word.
we don't really appreciate what we have.
Jesus Christ. That's why we elected Donald Trump, who's a complete dipshit, to run something that's very important.
We have to know both sides. And,
What?
you know, when it comes to Martin Luther King,
What about when it comes to Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein, you tit?
that's a holiday. We took away the Abraham Lincoln holiday and the George Washington holiday to make it
No, we have President's Day, so we can celebrate all of them. We have a lot of them.
a combined holiday for presidents. Which presidents?
All the ones we like and none of the ones we don't.
And then gave Martin Luther King his holiday. Okay, was that right? Was that a mistake? I don't know. Let's just know who we're holding up here.
Jeffrey Epstein, you're holding up Jeffrey Epstein as a paragon of virtue because Donald Trump was his buddy.
And that doesn't mean that his ideas of America live up to your promise isn't important. It's probably more important now than ever before.
Yeah, certainly way more than in the late 60s, because nobody really gave a shit back then about it.
Because the people who have been oppressed in the past are being convinced that you're still oppressed.
Yeah, and you're not. Quit it, okay? Okay, stop your whining.
And now the only way to not be oppressed is to
release the Epstein files. No, that's not it. Sorry.
take Martin Luther King's message and flip it upside on its head and say you've got to be a racist to be an anti-racist. The only way to fix racism is to engage in racism. These are important conversations for us to have.
And they're really great if we're trying to avoid talking about Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell and the fact that Donald Trump was friends with both of them for 2.5 decades, a full decade after he lied and said he no longer hung out with them.
And I, for one, applaud the president for doing this. And I think we should get all of it.
All of it, including the Epstein files.
Absolutely, all of it. And I hope it doesn't stop here.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do, asshole. You totally hope it stops at Epstein. You don't need that shit at all.